Hello, hello, and welcome, dear seekers of guidance. My name is Cleo, and I would like to welcome you to our sacred space here at Cleo Divine Tarot. I'm honored to be your guide on this mystical journey of love and self-discovery. Now, you may be wondering, or maybe not by the title, why I have paint on my hands. So today I am doing a collective reading on just your energy for the month ahead, what you need to know. And I would like to start by doing a watercolor reading and then incorporating some tarot cards to see what information comes up for you regarding this next month. And see, the caveat is that the issue here is I had started recording and my computer decided to crash in the middle of recording. So we are going to start over and assume that maybe the message was misinterpreted, or maybe someone didn't want you to hear this message. But let's go ahead and start with this bear card, and I will paint while we talk. So with this bear card, oh goodness. So with this bear card, I was essentially mentioning that, you are someone who works very, very hard. And you may need a break, because I feel like you're likely someone who is a parent and takes care of a lot of children, or maybe you're just in a role where you're having to take care of your partner or family, or maybe you're in like a healthcare role where you're taking care of a lot of people, or even a spiritual role where you're helping people heal. And there's just like this lack of self-care, and not necessarily, I don't want to say self-love, because you care about yourself, but it's like you're feeling very burnt out because you've been putting so much effort into other people and so much effort into helping other people survive and just really make it in this world as of late. And this next month is going to be a time of almost hibernation for you. A time of rest, a period of regeneration and growth where you're really starting to nurture yourself more, and maybe not totally neglect everyone else, but there's just this sense of you realizing, hey, it's time for me to take care of me. Some of you, this could be general. Some of you, this could be in a relationship. Some of you, this could be in business or in a work situation where, you're starting to feel drained, and maybe your workplace is not feeling like the place for you. And so you're wanting to take a step back and maybe start your own business so that you don't feel so controlled and weighed down by your coworkers, because your coworkers may be very toxic and it may be a very negative workspace for you. For others, it could be relationship issues where, like I was saying, you're taking care of your partner a lot or family a lot, and it's draining you and you're feeling exhausted, and you may take a step back. Some of you may end up leaving your partner in order to focus more on yourself. For others, you may just be distancing yourself, and instead of spending every evening alone watching TV together, you might like eat dinner quickly together and then go your own ways and take care of yourself, do like a self-care routine, or maybe focus on your own hobbies for the night, and then come together once a week where you spend time together. There's just this feeling of you taking more care and more time to yourself to recharge. So it's like a bear in hibernation. You take all this stuff with you. You take all this food, all these nutrients with you, and fill yourself with all of this nourishing goodness to fuel your body and heal your body and regenerate the cells that need to be regenerated, right? And then you come out of it feeling so much more lively, so much more energetic, and just more like a whole, complete person, rather than feeling drained and run down and like your soul's been sucked away, or like you're a shell of a person. So I see you healing and resting in this upcoming month. Let's see. For some of you, the 8th may be a very important day, either the 8th or the 28th of the month. I'm seeing a sickle for some of you. So you could be like reaping what you're sowing. For some of you, maybe you've been waiting on some money to come in or something to come in. It's like you've invested in something. It could be financially. It also could be, you know, emotionally. You've been investing in a relationship or whatever. Or if you've, you know, like we were speaking about, if you've been overworking yourself and overgiving yourself so much, it feels like the sickle is representing other people starting to nurture you and care for you, because they're starting to appreciate all the work that you've put in, all the effort that you've put in, and they're like, hey, do you need some help? Do you want me to help you now? I hope that makes sense. I'm also seeing the letter B, a double B. That could be significant for some of you. I'm seeing a little smiley face right down here, which is interesting because I saw that in the first the first round that we did when the computer crashed. But anyway, I'm also seeing another smiley face down here. So I do feel like things are going to be lightening up for you. There's going to be less pressure, less stress, and really, it's like you're taking a break from responsibilities. So some of you may be actually going on a vacation. And if you're not traveling for that vacation, it may just be you're taking off 2 weeks from work to sit at home and rest on the couch because you just want to. You know, there's this feeling of you needing to kind of regain your composure, your strength, and maybe even your purpose. Because for some of you, I feel like there's just this feeling of you feeling lost after taking care of so many people. You feel like you've lost your purpose and you don't know who you are anymore. And it's like you need this time to really recharge and figure out, well, what do I want? What do I need? I'm so busy worrying about everyone else and what everybody else needs and what everybody else wants that I don't even know what I need or want anymore. And so I see you feeling happier and more fulfilled because you're just starting to look inward and focus more on your desires. I see these as glasses. Some of you may actually be getting new glasses or just getting your first pair of glasses in the coming month. But for others of you, I feel like this is more symbolic of you just taking that look inward and focusing more on yourself. It's like, think about someone who needs glasses and isn't wearing glasses. As someone who wears glasses every single day, I'm not entirely blind when I don't wear them, but it's very difficult to see. Like if I try to watch TV without my glasses, the picture is fuzzy. I can make out, you know, blobs and the general context of the situation, but I can't make out the finer details. So I feel like this next month, you're putting on these glasses and starting to really examine more closely the things that make you happy, the things that make you feel alive and feel like yourself. For some of you, you may be picking up old hobbies. For some of you, you may be, I want to say, reconnecting with an old friend. I don't think this is going to be something you're doing every day. It may not be, you know, you're talking to 6 different people in one day because you just wanted to call everyone in your phone book. I sound like an introvert. 6 people in my phone book. An old introvert because I don't really use a phone book anymore. But anyway, you get my point. So I do feel like you may be reconnecting with someone, but it may be like one day long conversation, but short-lived. It's not going to be something where you're communicating with this person all the time, every day, for hours on end. It's just going to be a quick reconnection with someone you may not have spoken to in a while. I am also, some of you may or may not be happy about this. Right here, I'm noticing a phallic symbol, and it is flaccid. So I want to say that for some of you, your bedroom life might be a little stagnant or dry, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like, it's this feeling of just taking a step back and reanalyzing and taking a break. This is not supposed to be an 18 plus reading, but I feel like you are still going to have urges and your partner is still going to have urges. But it's more important that you're going to have a stronger connection when you come back together. And if you're not in a relationship currently, that's okay. This just indicates that while you're taking this break, or when you come back from this break, so say you're single and you want to stay single for this next month, and you're taking care of yourself and focusing on yourself, after that period has passed, it's like you start being sexually active again, maybe with a partner, maybe with, you know, a one-night stand situation, whatever it may be. But you're going to feel more pleasure and more of a connection after that break. Because for some of you, and again, I'm so sorry, because I know some people do get offended by sex and intimacy, but I'm just being honest with what I see in the cards, and I'm trying to be, you know, as respectful as I can when I discuss these things. But for some of you, it's like you started mindlessly having sex with your partner or with yourself or just with a string of people, and it didn't mean anything, and it didn't, I don't want to say it didn't mean anything if you're in a relationship, but it's like it just didn't feel the way that it used to. And there was like this lack of connection, this lack of pleasure and fulfillment coming from each of these encounters. And in this next month, you're going to have this dry period. After that dry period is going to feel like, wow, I miss this, or wow, I didn't know intimacy could be this great, or sex could be this great. Yeah, that sudden realization, that new perspective with the Ace of Swords. You're taking off these blinders. You're taking off these blinders, especially with respect to intimacy. Let's see, what else is coming for the collective after this next month? In this next month, I'm sorry. We do have the King of Cups and the Eight of Wands in reverse with the Page of Swords on the bottom. So I do feel like for some of you, you're just over it. You are over it. Whether it's a work situation, whether it's a relationship, you're so over the lack of consistency, the instability, the highs, the lows, the ups and downs. You're just done with it. Look at this King of Cups. Look how annoyed and disappointed he is. Instead of keeping that cup of water, he's just pouring it out. He's like, I don't want this anymore. And I feel like that's how you're going to feel in this coming month. You don't want this anymore, whether it's a relationship or it's an aspect of your relationship, like a lack of communication that you don't want anymore, or too much effort that you're putting in, you don't want that anymore. Or if it's a person in your life, like a colleague, a roommate, a friend, you don't want it anymore. And you're coming to that realization, you're done. You don't want to put up with this. You don't want to put any effort into this anymore. It doesn't mean that, you know, you should or shouldn't. It's just the desire isn't there. It doesn't feel fulfilling. It doesn't feel like it's what you're meant to be doing. You feel like there's no purpose to it. So why do it? Why put effort into this thing if, you know, it's not making you feel fulfilled? It's not making you feel loved. It's not making you feel whole and complete. And it's making you feel like a shell of a person, like you don't even know yourself anymore. You're starting to realize that this situation isn't great for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, you really stuck through these tough times. You had your blinders on like this hawk, and it's like you were fighting to survive. You tried so hard to just exist in this very toxic, unhealthy environment. I don't see the Eight of Wands as you necessarily leaving or cutting off communication with this situation or this person, but I do feel like it's definitely lessening. You're putting out less energy. This Eight of Wands is this huge, quick burst of energy, burst of communication. And I feel like you're shutting it down, you're blocking it off. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't want to be around people right now. You just want to rest and heal and be who you are without judgment of others, without having to take care of others, without having to meet others' expectations. Notice in this Page of Swords how he's standing on this little hill by himself, and there's people in the background. I do feel like they're going to be concerned about you and want to know what's going on, but you're just doing your own thing, focusing on what you want to focus on in this next month, and kind of, I don't feel like you're shutting them out in a rude way, but just politely dismissing them. Oh, they sent you a text message. Let's just close that notification and come back to it when we're ready. It's that kind of energy. Let's see if there's any other energy that's coming up in this next month for you. It's still early in the morning, I guess. We have the Empress reversed, clarification, and the Two of Cups. So for a lot of you, okay, this is a very specific message. Please don't take this if it doesn't apply to you, but for a lot of you, you are in a rocky marriage or a rocky relationship, and you are feeling very underappreciated, very undervalued, and not only that, but you're not taking care of yourself. This Empress is a motherly figure who is putting every ounce of her effort into all of her children, her husband, her partner. We see the swan and all the babies being nurtured. But she's doing it at her own expense. There always has to be this balance, right? Energy is this give and take. It has ebbs and flows. And when we can't find this balance, it's like these people are constantly taking. And there will be a breaking point. And I feel like you're reaching that breaking point. But you do have a loved one that's waiting to support you. This could be your partner. It doesn't have to be. The Two of Cups is usually more romantic energy. It's soulmate energy, but I'm taking this as you have either this emotional support animal that's here for you, or a partner or a person that is very close to you that will be your shoulder to cry on in the coming month. Because I also feel like with all of this energy that you have spent taking care of other people and other responsibilities, it's like all of this stress is bottled up inside of you, and it is about to pop if it hasn't already. And while you're going through this healing period next month, you are going to cry a lot, and that is okay. It is okay, because it is just your way of getting out this stress, and it is a way, it's like that beginning point of you healing on your journey. So don't be afraid of those tears. Now, I want to get some extra cards for those of you who may not be in a marriage or a long-term committed relationship. So for those of you that are not in a marriage or long-term commitment, it feels like something was, You're feeling very judged this month. Because you're retreating so much, you're feeling like other people, it's like, okay, I see it now. The people who rely on you and depend on you are coming at you hard or trying to. It's like if you turn your phone off for not even a day, like if you turn your phone off for an hour, 2 hours, and don't respond to anybody, you'll come back and there's going to be 30 text messages from all of these people saying, where are you? What are you doing? Why are you not responding? I need you. And that's a hard way to live. That is so exhausting. But I see you like just moving along this path and trying to protect yourself and isolate yourself as much as you can from all of this negativity and all of this stress and toxicity. You know, this Two of Swords in reverse, I feel like you're really just not going to respond to these people. You're not going to make a decision to talk to them, or at least not much. And these people are going to be coming at you, asking you to make a big decision. asking you to do something and heavily questioning why you're not making a decision. And I feel like this Five of Pentacles in reverse is not you feeling neglected or out in the cold, but them feeling neglected. Because remember, I was talking about the scales being balanced, right? When they're constantly bombarding you with negativity and they're constantly draining your energy, you are going to be weighed down to the max. But you're going to start taking off a little bit of that weight, throwing it out, and you're going to start coming up and being more uplifted. These people are going to start feeling drained because they were taking your energy from you. Now you've cut them off. There's no supply for them. So they're getting restless and more angry and more dramatic even. I mean, these people look very like beggars. They're very poor. They're very cold. They're homeless. They have no food. They're starving. They're injured. And that's how these people are going to come to you. And they may be very manipulative and be like, you know, why aren't you helping me with this? I'm dying. You know, very dramatic and unempathetic to your needs in this next month. Let's see if there's any advice for you in dealing with these people. Let it crash and burn. Just let it happen. Don't worry about saving. I know this sounds harsh, but don't worry about saving these people. I feel like you're someone who tries to save everyone and you can't. You can't because it will break you down and destroy you. Yeah. I'm just hearing let it rain, let it pour with this Three of Swords. It's time for you to take care of your heart, to bandage up your heart, to take out these swords that are just so deeply embedded in your being from these people. It's time for you to tend to your own wounds, to your own emotional needs. For some of you, it's time to stop drinking, at least for the month, and see how you feel afterwards, because the alcohol may be actually causing more depression or more anxiety. Even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment, it can mess with hormones. You're going to feel more confident and more in your power throughout this month. It's like as the month starts progressing and moving forward, you're going to feel stronger, more vibrant, and healthier. So even though we're at the end of a month, I think we're at the end of August, right? Yeah. We're at the end of August if you're watching this, but I wanted to make this timeless. So we're at the end of the month right now, and you may be feeling pretty hurt and broken and run down at the end of this month, but going into the next month, it's like you're going to be healing more and more with each day that passes, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I want to say that as you're healing, this is not only going to better your relationship with yourself, it's also going to better your relationship with those around you. It's going to make it a more healthy place for you to be, whether it's a workspace, a relationship, family. It's going to be happier and healthier because you're taking this time out to nurture yourself. Okay? All right. To my dear collective, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you today and to give you these blessings and divine guidance. I want to say that it's been such a pleasure and let you know that I do always appreciate interactions. So let me know in the comments what you think, if you have any suggestions, if you have further questions. Go ahead and comment those below and like, share, and subscribe. And if you're interested in personal readings, I do offer those through Etsy, which will be listed in the description box below. I will see you guys in the next video. Blessings.